Hey y'all, welcome to episode 15 of the Big Boy Basics. Now we are on to bicep exercises. Very exciting. So again, these are just general recommendations. There are a million bicep exercises. You don't need a million variations though to train biceps. These are to simplify your training, get you started on a full body split, and you can even use this in other training. We don't need to complicate bicep training. The basics will get you very far. So lazy anatomy of the bicep. The bicep has two heads. Bicep, see, two, makes sense. So you have the long head, which is on the outer portion of the arm, and the short head, which is on the inner. You also have the brachialis that is under the bicep that helps with your elbow flexion. So what do the biceps do? Elbow flexion, which is just bending the arm, don't complicate it. Forearm supination, which is just turning your palm up, don't need to complicate this either. And then shoulder flexion, which is helping raise your arm upwards. See? Very simple. No need for complicated anatomy charts. So in the sake of simplicity, how do we train biceps to effectively grow them? So with the biceps, we're going to hit them in 3 different ways as usual. So first is the barbell variations. We're going to use a variation that uses both of your arms together. So of course, we start with the king, the barbell curl. For these, use a standard barbell or easy bar, whatever you prefer. And just remember, your sets only count if you are curling in the squat rack of all times. If you prefer a cable variation, feel free to do that too with whatever attachment you enjoy. Both the barbell curl and the cable curl are going to be easy to add reps and weight with over time. Now, if you want a variation where you're going to use less weight and will be locked in place to minimize cheating, the barbell preacher curl is going to be your friend as well. And that's it for variations that will use both of your arms together. Next, we're going to focus on unilateral work. So we're going to use the dumbbell curl, and you can do these curling together or alternating. I don't really care. You pick what you like. But with the dumbbell curl, you're going to consider a higher rep range with these since you're using dumbbells and will most likely be harder to progress in weight. If you like a cable variation, do that instead, but just use one attachment on it and curl away with one arm. Now, if you want to hit the forearms a little with your curls, the dumbbell hammer curl is going to be a great exercise to hit your biceps along with more of your forearms and the brachialis. It's the muscles we mentioned under the bicep. Lastly, you can also do a dumbbell preacher curl if you want, but just keep in mind I'd only do one preacher curl variation per week, so doing a barbell preacher curl and a dumbbell preacher curl is just overkill. Now let's hit the bicep in a stretched and more vulnerable position. So that means putting our arm behind our body. The most popular exercise to do this is the seated incline dumbbell curl. The seat doesn't have to be terribly far back, just a position where your bicep can hang behind your body and you can curl. If you prefer the cable variation, you can do a Bayesian cable curl, if I'm even saying that right, where you lean forward and let your arms stretch behind your body. Just make sure not to drag your arms forward during this exercise. The point is for the bicep to be in a stretched position behind you. See, easy peasy bicep work. So we have 3 different variations as usual. One with both arms, you have the single arm, and then behind. So each of these is going to get 3 sets as usual. So pick 3 sets for a both arm variation, do whatever you prefer. And then the next workout day, 3 sets doing a single arm variation, most likely a dumbbell variation. And then do a variation where your arms are behind you, so you're in a more vulnerable position. And then that's it. It's very simple. Just pick one of these exercises each day and 3 sets of each for that, meaning 9 weekly sets. Now, should you use the easy bar or a straight bar? You might get marginally better gains using a straight bar because your wrist is fully supinated up for a peak bicep contraction instead of being like this. Does that really matter? Not in the long run, in my opinion. If you get wrist pain, just use the easy bar. It'll probably help out with it. Don't worry about that 0.1% better gains you might get with a straight bar. It might alleviate it when you even do a dumbbell curl. You can also wear wrist wraps as you get heavier curling. So this isn't a big argument in my book. Just do what you like. Programming notes. So similar with the triceps, if you've seen the last video, you can start out with 2 sets for each type of weekly exercise, meaning 6 weekly sets instead of going straight to 9, because you can milk these for a long time before going to 3 sets, because you will be getting a lot of bicep work with your back work in the beginning stages. In a beginner, and that might be enough stimulus to help grow them. So maybe start out with 6 weekly sets instead of 9. Because newbie gains are a magical thing, so don't run up your volume high when it's not needed. And then just keep in mind, with dumbbells, you will probably need a larger rep range, depending on what type of dumbbells you have at your gym. You're going to make 5-pound jumps in one hand, maybe even 10-pound jumps which is going to be very difficult to progress with if you're keeping the rep ranges the same. So you probably need a bigger rep range. And that's literally it for dumbbells, guys. I mean, and that's literally it for biceps, guys. Super simple. Remember just to train these hard, as we mentioned in the other videos, how hard you should train your isolations. But next we're going to go up to the best ab exercises. How are we going to program this on a full body split? See you in the next video. Make sure to comment down below and I'll answer any questions for you guys. We'll do this hand. Peace.